So, did you find anything? Or do you need my help?
We discovered a cave that was inhabited a long time ago by a whole group of people, mostly natives, who had obviously created a sacred site, as the place was guarded by a creature.
And have you found traces of our holy founder? New relics? Perhaps some tablets?
There were also frescoes on the site, representing Saint Matthias.
Frescoes? Tell me more. This is fascinating.
He was shown having his face painted by a native. On another, he prayed to the god of the mountain.
You can't be serious. You mean to say that our saint converted to the cult of the islanders?
That is what emerges from our findings, yes. Other objects that I was able to bring back also point in this direction. Look, there are inscriptions. These tablets and also this chaplet.
This chaplet? I cannot believe it. It is so... Excuse me. I cannot find the words to express how I feel. You must come with me. We must go and present all these discoveries to the Mother Cardinal. You realize our entire dogma will have to change. So far, anyone who wanted to question it would have burned their fingers. Literally, alas.
And you think that this time they'll listen?
We have solid proof. All this evidence. With your support, we will convince her to reveal the truth.
I see. I will do my best to help you.
It seems we are arriving right on time. You did well to warn us, Brother Virgil.
Virgil? How did you know?
I'm afraid that Your Excellency's lies weren't very convincing.
We were informed of your discoveries and of the danger they represent. We demand that you hand them over to us immediately, so that they can be destroyed.
How can you even suggest the destruction of relics written by the hand of our founder?
Out of love for our dogma, for our faith, and for our nation. But since you refuse to comply with our orders, you leave us no choice.
Death to the heretics!
May the enlightened protect you in this battle. May the shadow engulf our enemies. Your magic is running out.
You're running out of energy. Drink a punch! Move away. Things are about to get dicey.
Let's see who the enlightened will favor.
I cannot believe that I just fought my own brothers in faith. The fact that the Inquisition is after us is very disturbing, Excellency.
We would do well to hasten to San Matthias. They will not dare to attack you there. Even if these men were the last forces that the Inquisition could send us.
You are right. All this proves is that I will not succeed without your help. There is a risk that the Mother Cardinal will also reject our discoveries.
Fortunately, we have some leverage over this, dear Cornelia. And if you will allow me to attend the hearing, I would be delighted to support you.
Your help will be precious to us, Father. In any case, we must present our research to Mother Cardinal as soon as possible. I will study the tablets one last time to make sure I know all their content, and I will meet you at the palace in San Matthias to plead our case.
Understood. See you soon, Sister Eugenia. Be careful.
Your Excellency. We were eagerly awaiting your arrival. Sister Eugenie...
It all
but we could...
The entrance, these guards, we just in my
And wait,
but our discoveries are above.
you are... Yes, does...
Keep to me.
What? Thank you. After much thought, I have decided it best to silence these. Our nation...
But Your Eminence...
Enough, my...
I cannot...
Of course... Ah, Your Excellency. We were eagerly awaiting your arrival. Sister Eugenia was just recounting me the tale of your achievements and telling me about the incredible discoveries you've made.
These relics shed a new light on the last years of our founder. It all demonstrates that he hadn't evangelized the islanders, but, on the contrary, he would even have adopted some of their rituals. merging the cult of the enlightened and the cult of nature in a single dogma.
These discoveries, if they can be verified, are extraordinary. But they also represent a great upheaval that could harm our nation. We must first verify their authenticity. You are the only ones who entered this cave. Could what you have witnessed been a falsification?
The cavern we discovered is located in a very remote place. There's no island or village nearby. It contains some ruined dwellings, but clearly no one has lived there for a very long time. Fraudsters would inevitably have left traces of their passage, and we have not found any. The entrance to the cave was protected by one of those giant creatures that the natives call a Nardaig. These guardians usually protect sacred places and let no one enter without a fight. I had to kill this beast, which leads me to think that nobody had entered the cave for a very long time. We discovered ancient frescoes on the walls of the cave. They represent Saint Matthias without a doubt. He's depicted with his chaplet. In one, he is praying for the divinity of the island. In the other, his face was being painted by a native. I understand how shocking these discoveries are, but their antiquity proves that they are genuine.
The tablets found at the site, however, attest that our founder had not abandoned the cult of the enlightened. He simply saw it as two different reflections of the same divine power.
The relics could be authentic, Your Excellency, but we only have your word to convince us. The political and religious impact of these discoveries will be unprecedented. We risk schism, civil war, and who is to say that this is not a plan to weaken us?
I understand your doubts, Your Eminence, but you yourself asked me to conduct the investigation. It seems to me that the best way to address this matter would be for you to go to the place yourself. Then you will see that what I have described to you is true.
I suppose you would not suggest such a thing if you had lied to me, but you are right. I need to see for myself what secrets this place hides.
I would also like to inform you that a member of the Ordo Luminis was part of the expedition. He tried several times to sabotage it, even killing many of his colleagues for it. And finally, he attacked us, as we were preparing to join San Matthias.
You'd have thought that the remaining members of the Order would go to such extremes. But I fear these attacks are just a reflection of what will happen if your discoveries are made public.
Your Eminence, we are faced with a crucial choice for our nation. What does a man of faith do in such a dilemma? He prays and places his trust in the one who came before him and has shown more wisdom. Saint Matthias shows us a new way. If we are believers, can we really turn our backs on him?
You surprise me, Petrus. You who are always so political, yet your words seem sincere. You give me something to think about. Thank you.
If my people knew that the great sage they had long respected is the same man as your saint, and that your priests respected our culture as he did, they would be welcomed here as brothers.
And the Eden we wanted to build would be everywhere. You speak sense, Princess. Does anyone wish to add anything?
I understand your doubts about the future, which are inevitably caused by such a revelation. You hesitate just as St. Lucius did to tell us about the journey of his master. Yet in the end, he revealed what he knew, and his words still guide Thélème today.
Thank you for your testimony. I will now retire to think about everything and make my decision. After careful consideration, I have decided that it is my duty to reveal your discoveries to the world. It will take years for our theologians to study all of this, but our dogma must follow the path opened by Saint Matthias.
Thank you, Your Eminence. I would be delighted to help with the study of these relics.
I don't doubt it, my dear. And I would like you to take me to see this cave. I look forward to worshipping at the place where our holy founder ended his days. As for you, Your Excellency, I thank you for the help you have given us. Your sincere insight has encouraged me to make this difficult decision.
It was my pleasure.
Let me also thank you, Your Excellency. Without you, we would still be in the shadows.
About a week ago now, Skyrim got what is functionally a $20 DLC. That with Skyrim Anniversary Edition, which added in 26 totally new pieces of content to Skyrim, and then also all of the old Creation Club stuff. But in this video, I'm really just focusing on this new content that just got added in, as I have now played through literally all of it. And I want to go over what each of these new quests, each of these new features are, and kind of just give my thoughts and impressions, a bit of a review of that new content in general. I've already the best content. Is there better alternatives out there? Yes, mods and many of these situations are going to be better, especially on just the voice acting front. Mod voice acting is kind of a meme at this point, but there are some really well voiced mods in the Skyrim modding community, and I would argue even mediocre voice acting is typically going to be better than reading like 30 notes while trying to fish. But that's not to say a lot of this anniversary content isn't also going to be very fun. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing mods actually use some of it in the future and
official feeling to it. Not as official as a normal DLC for Skyrim like Dragonborn or Dawnguard, but there are also armor sets from the Elder Scrolls Blades, a mobile game from Bethesda. So these armor sets were made by Bethesda themselves and ported over to Skyrim, so that makes it kinda official to me. Other things like bags, certain quests or homes don't feel that official to me and are just okay in my opinion. The reason why I keep calling it official is because I don't like mods that overhaul the gameplay or the balance of the game. Does it make the game better? Definitely, but I'm I'm one of those scams that likes to play the game how it's meant to be played, or at least close to it. I don't like all those mods with new spells because you feel very overpowered easily and then the game becomes a cakewalk. I do however like graphical mods a lot, as you can see here, because for my feeling it really enhances the quality and the feel of the game without touching its balance or original feeling. It does look way better, but it's still close to the original look and it's not oversaturated. And I know I'm talking about mods here that I installed myself and are not included in the Anniversary Edition, but now you know about the mods I like and don't like, and know how I rate the Creation Club content, because in the end they are still paid mods. So do I like them? As I said before, generally yes. I like most of them and it doesn't feel like it throws you off balance. Mostly. The new spells are a great addition and especially the new Necromancer spells feel great. I thought Skyrim could have way more and this is a nice addition without feeling too out of place. Except for summoning a bear, I guess? There is however a bow that can make you invisible and has very strong stats. And I really like the idea of this powerful bow, but what I don't like is that you can find it very early in the game. Skyrim's balance is that you can find and buy more powerful weapons as you level up, and you aren't supposed to find ebony or daedric weapons at level 1 for example. At least by normal means. Finding this powerful bow that makes you invisible feels fun, but every new bow I found afterwards was significantly weaker, and finding new weapons didn't feel as much as fun as it did before. And this is also for the armor sets. You can either craft them or find them just around in the world. Some of these are available at low level and have a nice balance towards them. But I found a Dragonplate set at level 10, an 8 native armor for the heavy dragon armor, which you can normally only find at high levels or create by having the level 100 smithing perk. And the armor was already enchanted with powerful stats. Would I have equipped this armor, the rest of the game would easily be a cakewalk. And I know I could turn the difficulty up to counterbalance this, but the enemies will become hell sponges and I don't like to change my difficulty thanks to items I found in the world. My solution will be that you can only unlock this quest for this armor set if you are a higher level, or if you unlock the smithing level 100 perk to keep things in balance. Now maybe I'm starting to sound like I'm having a lot of trouble with the balance issues of the Creation Club, but these are only a few examples. Not all the armor and weapons you find in the game are like this, and most of them are very well balanced and very unique. But now let's talk about the new quests. And although it's not close to the quality of the main game, I still like them quite a lot. So most of the new stories of the quest are told through notes and letters you find or receive. They of course didn't record any new voice lines, so the NPCs use bare minimum lines that are already in the game files and say things like, "You can find more information in this note." And I think this is a fine solution, instead of having NPCs having explained everything without voice lines, or to hear crappy quality voice lines that feel out of place. And the way these quests are written feel close to the current feel of the game, and some even have great stories. And of course you have to read a lot for these quests, but it's up to you if you want to read them or just read them for the objective and fast travel to get it done. And most of the new armor sets and weapons are unlocked through quests. And it's nicely intertwined into the game. They made it so that you don't get all the new quests after entering the world, because you have to either find these in the world or have a courier deliver them to you. And it was quite exciting every time I saw the guy running towards me, because I knew I would get a new quest to explore. And then there's also the free content that everyone receives, like fishing and survival mode. You also get a new questline called Saints and Seducers, which is based on the Shivering Isles expansion of Oblivion. But this is basically the same as I said before, because most of the story is told through notes and the quality of these items and quests are fine. But fishing isn't anything spectacular. You can only fish in certain spots of the map and you get stuck in one position where you can move around or move the camera. And you just have to press the button at the right time to reel in the fish. But what I do like about the fishing pack is that there are more fishes in Skyrim in general and also new cooking recipes, which flows nicely through the new survival mode. So the new survival mode is mostly great. I had a lot of fun with it and it was fun not to have to fast travel for a while. You now have to eat to not get hungry, sleep to not get tired and to level up, and get warm to not suffer from the cold. Having either of these status effects gives you certain debuffs, but it's entirely optional to you if you enable this mode or not. But I like having these effects, because it gave me reasons to go to an inn to buy some food or to hunt and cook it for myself. You also had to sleep there to get well rested as well to level up, and of course with all the fireplaces around in them you can also warm up nicely in inns. And this is what I like most about the survival mode. It gave me reasons to go to the inns, which are normally just nice places to visit. Because why would you sleep if you don't need sleep in Skyrim? If you saw one, you could have used it for a bonus effect for XP increase, but I mostly forgot about this. And now I really had a purpose to go there because it really improved my gameplay experience because of the new survival mode. But what I didn't like most about it is that it disabled fast travel. In the beginning though, I really liked it a lot, forcing myself to explore the landscapes of Skyrim even more, but the problem is that Skyrim isn't designed for this. Because it's designed with fast travel in mind, and if you ask why, Skyrim has a ton of fetch quests. It gives you an objective to travel across your map to find an object, and after finding it you have to travel all the way back. I did like having no fast travel for the bigger quests like the main quest, but for exploring all the content for the Anniversary Edition it wasn't so great. For an example, I unlocked a new home and I couldn't even fast travel there, so it was a bother to travel all across the map to put something in my home. I would have liked it more if you could manage the settings of survival mode, like having all the options there but enable fast travel, or manage fast travel that you can only fast travel towards cities, towns and your home. Because in this way you could still very well explore the landscapes of Skyrim in a beautiful way, play the bigger quest lines without fast traveling, but makes it easier to return home or to deliver fetch quests in a town or city. And you can of course modify this with mods on PC, but for console players you can always turn it off or on, so check what you like. Because if you like walking all those ways for a fetch quest because it's immersive, go ahead, then it's great. But if you're like me and you don't want to walk half an hour to hand off a fetch quest that you found, you have to choose what you like more. Overall, I really had a great time with the Anniversary Edition, and it felt like a semi-official DLC because most of these quests and items are nicely woven into the main game, and some armor sets like the ones from Elder Scrolls Blades or even from Morrowind and Oblivion already.
Matt, this is actually a world record on our channel. This is effectively the third comparison video that we've done on Skyrim.
Oh, okay.
So, but for a game that's like been out for 10 years and everyone jokes about it being out on fridges and stuff, like, I mean, that's not really that unheard of.
No, it's not. It's not surprising. We haven't done the fridge comparison yet, so I mean,
no,
yeah, look forward to that.
Basically, what we're going to do though is run you through the jump from the special edition to the anniversary edition, which is out today, and we're talking specifically the patch, the free patch, basically.
Okay.
And as you'll notice, I've ignored the FPS because we're looking at Xbox Series X to Xbox Series X. As you'll see with that swipe, there's not any different. But as we were talking before the video, like, the Xbox Series X version has already got the One X boost. The PS4 Pro had that as well, which boosts it to 4K. And the Xbox Series X already had the 60 FPS. So this is 60 FPS. So basically, there is no difference if you've already played it. And even on the PS5, right? And the PS5, it already had the 4K because of the PS4 Pro patch. And also, there was a mod that made it 60 FPS. So, I mean, there's no difference there. But look at the ground and you'll see that they've moved shrubs and bushes around. And on the Anniversary Edition, there's almost less shrubbery in places.
Yeah, that's quite bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, I find that really odd. So, I mean, as we'll run through the shots, you'll see it. And the first half of this video, you'll be right in going, oh my God, the special edition actually looks better than the anniversary edition just because there's more shrubbery and plants on some shots. But then as it transpires, it was me being in specific spots where it was different. Like, so on some shots, they've just moved stuff around. On some shots, they've had
Skyrim multiplayer co-op is coming. We've been talking quite a bit lately about Skyrim Together, the Skyrim co-op multiplayer mod that has been getting a ton of updates as of late. But their most recent update, 30 minutes of gameplay of this mod in action, is one of the most insane things I've ever seen from Skyrim modding, and is by far the most excited I have ever been for this mod. And soon enough, we're going to be able to actually experience this for ourselves. So you'll be sitting here thinking, wait, I thought you could already play the Skyrim multiplayer mod. I thought Skyrim Together had that whole beta thing. In the past, you were able to play an earlier version of Skyrim Together, but of course that mod was pretty buggy and relatively unstable. What we're looking at here is the completely revamped, reborn version of Skyrim Together that is described as being better in nearly every way, and even just having a ton of additional functionality. This new reborn version is not yet public, but the developers have been sharing with us a ton of gameplay and just things they've been adding to this. We've seen things like magic now syncing between players, object syncing so you could actually open doors, and even how combat is progressing. I know those snippets like that are cool, they get you excited, they show you the very specific thing that was added. More recently, they've been showing us a lot more, as the developers here have recently uploaded over an hour of this mod in action. A 40-minute stream highlight of a full 25 people playing Skyrim Together, which is pretty insane to just see all of these human characters playing Skyrim with one another. And as you watch this gameplay, to me, it almost looks like a fan meetup or just an entire guild questing in an MMO of some kind. Like this could be Elder Scrolls Online gameplay, but no, this is Skyrim with a mod that was made by a bunch of members of the community.
I don't love your campfire. Yeah, everybody do magic spells. Oh, that's good.
I got a campfire over here.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh, like...
It says I'm hidden. I don't believe that.
Naturally, having a group this large playing Skyrim together, they get up to some antics.
No, who did that? Kill it before, don't spawn anything else.
Is that a troll giant? What?
That sounds like Karstock. I've not played this game enough, I see.